Anybody ever heard of franchising? Yes. Now, most people think franchising is an industry. It's really a distribution system. It's a way for you to grow your brand using other people's money. Now, that benefits the franchisor and the franchisee, because what happens is when you try to go in and start a company as a brand new company, just straight out the gate, chances are you're not going to get no funding. Very little funding is that. However, when you are able to go to a bank and say, hey, I'm working with this franchise, they've been doing this for this long, they have this track record, they're doing it great, they're going to win. First 5 years, 90% of businesses fail. First 5 years, approximately 90% of franchises succeed because they have the person that started the concept that's working, teaching them how to do it. I would like to bring to the stage not only pasta, the restaurant is called Pasta de Guy. So just so you know, Guy make a de pasta, and Eyal make a de Guy, father and son. All right, please give it up for Guy and Eyal.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Excuse me.
I'm Guy, founder and chef of Pasta di Guy. And this is pasta. No, I'm joking. This is Eyal, my dad. You can introduce yourself.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, we're both co-owners. We've started this company about 5.5 years ago. I'm going to go over the presentation, our introduction presentation, and then Guy will tell you a little bit about behind the scenes kind of thing, and at the end we'll be open for questions. Okay, so our concept is to do top level Italian food. I'm not going to comment about this Italian food. So our concept is to do really top level Italian food at fast casual concept and family friendly prices. Okay, so we do our pasta from scratch, our sauces from scratch, our desserts, our sauces, our dressings, almost everything, like 85% we do from scratch every day. And still we are able to sell it in these prices. Like you get this big bowl of pasta that I cannot finish for $9.50 to $13.45. Okay, you can get a kids dinner with the drink for $6. Okay, so the food is really fresh, made from scratch every day, like really top level, and in these prices. So the question is, how do we do it? So on the food, we don't compromise at all. Okay, we put a lot of effort, money, resources into the food. But anything else, we do in a very effective way, very efficient way. So it is, first of all, we have smaller locations. Okay, usually about 1,500 square feet. That's our sweet spot. So, smaller place, less rent, less utilities, so we can give some of the cost saving to the customer and some keep as profit for us. Number of employees. We have 2 to 5 people in a shift, that's it. Okay? So again, the labor cost is low, we can give some of the cost saving to the customer, some we keep for ourselves and more for our franchisees. Next things, we have very good deals with food distributors, and also with all the delivery companies like Uber, DoorDash, and all these. These are a big part of the industry now, even bigger every day. Yeah. And we have very good deals with them. Like if you go and you open your own restaurant today, they will charge you 30% for every dollar they bring you. We are already at 20% with them. Yeah. Okay, and we are going to even.
And with the food, we managed to lower it by 20 to 30%. Like if you will buy per se a heavy cream case from a new restaurant, than what we buy it, and all our franchisees will get the same prices, obviously.
Okay. Also, we both of us, by the way, come from technology background. Okay, so we use a lot of technology to do everything very efficiently, very effectively. And something very, very unique is we do the online marketing in-house. Online marketing is the marketing today. Nobody goes to a restaurant today because they saw some ad on TV. Everybody goes because they saw Facebook,
they saw a reel
Google.
on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, Google. So yeah, that's our effort, the digital marketing.
Yeah, so before I joined Guy in this company, I ran for about 15 years a company that helps small businesses move from offline to online. So I'm actually an expert in this. Guy used to work with me also.
Yeah, my background, so I actually started, I went to college to computer engineering, and then when I was 24 years old, I decided to go with my passion, go with cooking. Can give a bit more. So then I started in the Italian restaurant, became the sous chef. After that, I decided to take it a step further and went to learn in Le Cordon Bleu in Europe, which is the highest school in the world for cooking. Worked in several restaurants in Europe, also in Michelin star, and then came up with that concept and decided that's the future. The way I see it on the food industry is the fast casual. And I went with my passion, which is Italian food and Italian cuisine and pasta, and attended to how I see the future in the food industry.
Okay, so going back to the how we do it, so the in-house online marketing is, we don't have to pay anybody to do it. We do it ourselves. Of course, if the franchisee needs to pay for an ad, he will pay for an ad. But for the work itself, we do it on our own. Okay. So our customers love us. We have very good reviews. We have 3 locations: 2 in Tampa Bay area, 1 in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So if you go online on these locations, you will see very high scores, a lot of good reviews. I'll just give you a small example. So this guy, Miles, for instance, he said, if you want good Italian food fast, come to Pasta di Guy. Right? Jason, he says he comes twice a month to Pasta di Guy. By the way, by our statistics, we see most people come every week,
Yeah.
sometimes twice a week, right?
Yeah, we have returning between 60 to 70% returning customer, which is obviously very, very high, and that's what we're trying to push, obviously with food quality, service, and everything.
So he says the homemade chef pasta is to die for. Feel like you're at your Italian family home, which is exactly what we want them to feel, right? And then this guy Pereira say, the best spaghetti alla vodka in my life. I wish every town had one of these. Okay, so this is why we started franchising, right? So we will be able to be all over the US. And this guy Scali says from the mozzarella stick to the fresh made pasta, even the flatbread pizza was amazing. So people really love it. And also, we won 2 years in a row the best Italian restaurant in the Tampa Bay area. Thank you.
Thank you.
2023 and 2024, and Tampa is becoming more and more foodie, and still we got this reward, and we got it by the Tampa Bay Times, not by some marketing. Okay, so our vision is to become the Italian eatery of choice for American families all over the U.S. Okay, and as I said, the way to do it is by franchising, as Rodolfo just said. If you want to expand fast, franchising is the way, right?
Yeah.
So we have, as I said, our own 3 locations. We just started franchising a few months ago. We already sold 1 in Spring Hills, Florida, and we're discussing with people in Virginia, in Texas,
in different states.
and we are here to try to have something in Jacksonville as well, right? So obviously our franchisees will have to adhere to our values, which is quality of food, service, and people, which goes together. Freshness, since we're in food, we think freshness is the key value. And we go all the way. I mean, we buy ingredients, fresh ingredients, few times a week. We make most of the things every day from scratch. And we make per order. When somebody comes in, we make the dish per order on the spot. Okay, so it's fresh all the way.
And still very, very simple. So which this is a key element for us. Like you don't need to be, Gordon Ramsay on the line to be able to execute it. We simplified all the system and everything. You don't have to have a background, a restaurant background to run Pasta di Guy. Everything is very simple. We have manuals very detailed from when you come in to turn on the lights, like everything very, very detailed. And very simplified. Like let's say for the Alfredo that we make in scratch on a daily basis, you need to put a case of heavy cream, and we have a seasoning mix that we made in house. You put it in, mix it on a low heat on 1 hour, and you have the perfect Alfredo. Therefore, you don't need to taste it. It will be consistent and a good and high quality and fresh.
Another value we have is community. Since we want to be a family restaurant, we have to be part of the community, to give to the community and receive from the community. So we do a lot of events. For example, in a certain day and time, we say in the next 2 hours, every dollar that comes in, 15% go to a school or to a church or to a sports team or whatever.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of these.
A lot of communities. We do a give back for schools and churches, as you mentioned. Usually, some depends on the event. Some of them 10%, 15%, 20%, depends what of the sales. Very important to be engaged with the community when we open a location, and to do a fun event and to give back to the community.
So who is our ideal franchisee? As Guy said, we don't need somebody who's an expert cook or expert manager, okay? We want somebody who's passionate about serving top-level food to families in affordable prices. This is the most important thing that we think, okay? Once you have the passion, with our system, you can do it, okay? We proved it ourselves before we started. We took a 25-year-old girl that used to be a cashier. 24-year-old girl. She was 24. No.
Yeah.
24-year-old girl that was a cashier in one of our locations in Florida. We taught her the 3 weeks training that we give a franchisee. We gave her the menu, and we sent it to Indiana to open the location.
She opened one of our stores, and she already run it successfully for over a year now.
Yeah. So this proves, and she didn't have any food. I mean, she worked as a cashier with us. She worked as a cashier in Burger King when she was
before that.
She was in high school, and that's it, right? And no management experience, and still she can do it. So this is really a proof of concept. Okay. So we want somebody who's passionate about it, somebody who will share our values, as I said. But we want at least one of the partners of the franchisee to be the one who runs the business. We don't want an investor that will come, put the money, hire people, and go away. We want somebody to be in the restaurant, at least in the first restaurant. If he's going to do like 3 or 4, we understand he cannot manage 3 or 4, right?
Now, run the business doesn't mean, because it's something we get asked a lot, it doesn't mean that you have to be there from 7 a.m. until close every day, but it means you need to be involved obviously in the aspects in the restaurant, in the management aspect of it, and things like that, and not just to invest and then hope that it will be fine. That's what we're meaning by that.
Okay, financial wise, we work with the financing companies that can help you get SBA loans. But what they say is that if you have a net worth of $400,000 and cash of about $70,000, you can get enough loans to get to open a Pasta di Guy franchise. As I said, we put a lot of effort in making it simple for the franchisees, as Guy described it. So we have a very detailed recipes and processes. We give 3 weeks of training to the franchisees, including 2 weeks that we come to your store, to the franchisee store, and help them in the opening.
1 week before the opening and 1 week of the opening. And 1 week will be in a training center in Tampa Bay area, a training center that we built. And we'll go over, obviously, in the cooking aspect, front of house and customer service, and business aspects during this program. And obviously, there will be ongoing support with the franchisee on a weekly basis.
Okay, technology-wise, as I said, we have a lot of technology. We have our own app, our own website, our own loyalty program. Interfaces with Uber and DoorDash. I'll not go over all the list, but we have a lot of technology that you get as part of the deal of being a franchisee with us. Investment-wise, the whole investment to open a Pasta di Guy varies, depends on what type of location you open, okay? If you open it in a food hall, it can be as low as $157,000, the whole investment, everything, including franchise fee, inventory, marketing, equipment, everything. But if it's in a food hall, because in a food hall, almost everything is ready for you already, so you don't have to put a lot of money. If you do a second generation restaurant, meaning it was a restaurant before, Could be, I don't know, Chinese, burger, pizza, whatever it was before, but we turn it into a pastarie guy. It can be between 240 to 330, depends what they have there. Okay, if you just take a retail store that was before any retail, you have to invest a little bit more to make it a restaurant, then it's between 350 and 400. If you start from scratch, like from just gray shell, just walls, it's 485. We don't recommend it. I just put the number if somebody wants it, but I would recommend, we recommend the best, the second generation restaurant, because then your investment is not high and your profit is as high as if you would do it from scratch. So.
And with those, that also include the equipment and everything with those investment, and you will actually own it. There are, especially in the food industry, some of the big chains that say you want to own your own restaurant for $10,000 or something like that. It's obviously only a walking fridge costs $10,000. What they do, they call it a franchise, but their model of some of, again, the big ones, it's not a true franchise, and you don't actually own anything. In our model, you actually own the equipment, own everything, and just using our method and our way and our guidance to make it successful.
Okay, on the income side, we use the corporate place, which is closest thing to a franchise that we have. Okay, that's the one in Wesley Chapel. It's only 1,300 square feet. It's smaller than what a franchise should be. It worked in this year, half here, only 6 days and not 7 days a week. But still, these are the best numbers that we have. The best represent what a franchise would be, okay? So it makes around 900,000 a year in gross income.
In this year, we are in track, by the way. It's not on the EBITDA because that's what from last year record, but this year we are in a record to do more than $1 million in sales.
Yes, but on this example, so it's 900,000 a year. It makes EBITDA, which is earning before interest, tax, depreciation, but that's how much money it makes, okay? 140,000, but in these numbers we had a manager there for a few months that cost us $37,000. If it's a franchisee, he will also get the $37,000, he's going to run it by himself. So for a franchisee, if it's going to work the same as this location, which is, as I said, only 1,300 square feet, you should make about 177,000 a year. Take home 177,000 a year, which means that the ROI is great. It's less than 2 years. Even if you invest 350 and you get 175 every year, in less than 2 years you get return on investment, which is a great return on investment.
Yeah, everything is basically, especially in the food industry, the return on investment less than 3 years consider is very, very good. Most models, it's in the industry is usually between 3 to 5, and ours can be basically in between 2 to 3 years, which is a very great return on investment.
Okay, so this is just a summary. Why franchise with us? First, we have a unique and proven concept. Unique because, you know, we've traveled now a lot because of the franchising, and I haven't seen anything like it. I've seen things that are a little similar, but nothing really like that really gives top-level food at family-friendly prices. Okay, and proven. We told you about the girl, so it's really proven.
Yeah, and that's important. That's important to me. One of the reasons, as I mentioned, I worked in a Michelin. I made food for like $200 a dish or things like that. And I do, like, it was important to me to bring, again, this whole concept of high quality food, but still an affordable price for everyone, and in a quick service, because that's, again, where the industry, everyone today wants everything instant and everything quick, especially the younger generation. They want to click something and they want it in their doorstep, and they want it hot, and they want it in a high quality. So that's basically what we bring, and it's important to us to execute it that way.
Okay, so something very important, with very low labor cost and food cost. Now, the success in the food industry at the end is your labor cost and food cost.
Yeah.
Okay, and ours is really, I'm not going to go into all the numbers now, but it's really below the range of the industry. Okay, we're below the range. So the profits are very high, as you saw. Excellent return on investment. As you saw, our customers love us and they show it. We do top-notch online marketing, which is something very, very unique.
Actually, our marketing director just about to win. We basically, there is that will be announced, I think next month in Indiana, as top marketer, top 30 marketers in the food industry in the U.S. Yeah, which is a big award. So that's obviously a great news, and we're honored by that.
Right. As we said before, there's no prior food background needed, and we're going to give you exceptional support to make sure that you're going to win. I mean, the most important thing for us right now is that the franchisee, our new franchisees will succeed, because this is our success, right?
Yeah.
We even appointed recently an operations manager who's going to run all our corporate locations, so we're going to be free to put all the emphasis on the success of the franchisees. If you or you know somebody who's interested in maybe franchising with us, we have a whole process. What we did today is number one, okay, only the introduction meeting, let's say, but we have a whole process how to do it.
There are flyers in everyone table, so if you're interested, you're more than welcome. There is a QR code. You can also go on our website, you look a bit on the menu and everything, and the QR code, it will lead you to our franchise page. You can fill up the information, and we'll contact you in 2 days or so. Someone from our team can go over more information and the onboarding process.
Okay, now we're open to any questions. Yes. Yes.
In order to get started, do you actually come to the community that is interested and take a look at the demographics and all in that community before you move on to the next thing? Because we all know that in different communities, like for the city and all, there's a big giant gap. So how do you deal with that, or are you earmarked for certain size communities and cities?
Okay, before you sign with us, we have a mapping app that will help us go into any location and see the population, the income, how many households, stuff like that. So we work with you with this app to try to find the general location. I mean, not a specific store, but the general location that we'll say. Then once you sign with us, we hook you up with a realtor, a commercial realtor which is expert in restaurants, and he will help you find the place. Okay. Once you found the last 2 or 3, you go around, you look at things. You can send us. I mean, if it's here in Florida, we can drive. It's no problem. But we have now one in Virginia, so we're not driving for every store, right? So we see it online. He sent us some videos and stuff like that. But when he's going to find the last two or 3, we're going to fly over there, and guys going to go into the store and make sure that this store is good for us.
Somebody wants a franchise there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you won't be able to.
You know questions?
Just let me say in general that what I told you now about finding the location is an example of how we help you. From the day you sign with us until you open, and after you open, we just go hand in hand with you on everything. On finding the location, looking at your lease agreement, doing the design of the kitchen, everything. Yes.
Thank you. I think it's a great concept.
Thank you.
I just want to know, what is your franchise fee, and do you charge a royalty for the percentage of the sales from the franchises?
Yes. So our franchise fee is $49,500, which is already included in the numbers that I gave. We put the investment of $157 to $400. It's including already the $4,900 for the franchise fee. And we charge only 5% royalties, and that's it. No marketing fees, no technology fees, only 5% royalty fees. And by the way, the royalty fees are already included. When I said that somebody can make $177,000 a year, it's included already, the 5% in the expenses.
Any other questions? Said you're gonna ask a question that you already know the answer to,
It seems like your food is really, really popular, but I know a lot of people are looking for like, certain nutritional data. Do you have like?
Good,
nutritional-
I will
and how
take it.
people, respond to it?
Yes, so we do, so we do have a great question. We have food for everyone, again, that's part of our concept, meaning we have gluten-free, also gluten-free pasta, which made from brown rice flour, gluten-free wraps, salads obviously gluten-free. We have a lot of vegan options, a lot of vegetarian options. So we have a very good variety for every kind of diet. So every time, again, with my food background, I know that more and more popular to have a lot of people have different diets and everything. So we have good selection, I would say, more than most places to have good gluten-free and vegan options. Yeah.
Any more questions?
For your business, a community that has a population of population of 8,000, and the heaviest demographic is, say, from 9 months, and then it drops down. What happens during that period? If you know, without those students, it's a college town, without those students, it's not a business that's not.
So for something specific, let's say like a college town, things like that, it's something, again, part of the conversation and stuff and of the onboarding, it's something we can discuss and say, let's say, also in Florida, in Tampa Bay, where we at, there is the thing of like snowbirds and things like that and different. You can have the high season and lower season, but it's something that we can work in and see basically based on the population and based on the season, if it's something area that will be good basically for the concept or not. But we are, as Eyal mentioned, have softwares that we're using for that, and there is some minimum criteria for population that needed in a certain radius.
Yeah, so she was saying she can't hear you. So you say for college towns.
Yeah, so for college town, again, it depends. For more specific, the amount of population and everything, it depends. We'll need basically to get into it. So that's something that you definitely more than welcome to contact us later, and we can get more into the amount of the population. But it is something that we are, like let's say even in Tampa Bay, we have snowboard season and things like that. So it's definitely something that is doable. Depends on the numbers and the population in that specific area.
Any more questions? Going once, going twice.
Sold.
Guys, if you pasta and you all make it, you know, for pasta.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.